A colleague grabbed my arm in the middle of a night shift. Her face was as white as a sheet. She just whispered, "You need to come and see this." I followed her through to the cubicle where her patient was. It was a young girl, maybe 18 or 19, with her mum. The girl was bent forward, her eyes were tight shut, and she was crying, and her mum was sort of rubbing her back. Mum was crying as well. I looked at my colleague and she said, "It's her eye." So I crouched down, introduced myself, asked the girl to show me her eye. And she raised her head and sort of opened her eye. And as soon as she did, this thick yellow pus just poured out, ran down her cheek, and she kind of rubbed it away before closing her eyes tight shut again. There are some conditions that if you see them once, you never forget them. And I knew immediately what this girl had, but I thankfully had the presence of mind not to say anything at the time. I took a swab of the discharge. I asked a nurse to take the mum outside on the pretext of sorting out some patient details that were wrong in our system. And when I was alone with the patient and my colleague, I asked her some things that I couldn't safely ask in front of her mum. I asked her if she was sexually active. I asked her if she felt safe, if anyone was forcing her to do something she wasn't comfortable with. The usual kind of safeguarding questions that we ask to check a patient's all right. She looked up at me with her good eye. She was confused. She said, "I've never had sex. Why are you asking about sex? I've got a problem with my eye." And I told her that she had gonococcal conjunctivitis. She had a sexually transmitted disease of the eye. I told her it was serious. If it didn't get treated, then it can lead to blindness. She stared at me for a moment, and then her eyes widened, and she said, "Oh, last week, my boyfriend," and she kind of tailed off. And then her face sort of darkened as she sort of turned to anger. And at that point, her mum came back in. Suddenly, anger was replaced by fear. I didn't mention anything more about her diagnosis, and neither did she. I finished my exam, I gave her some antibiotics, and I referred her to see an ophthalmologist in the morning.